All right, Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
Hey, all praises, all honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakai Kodash. A double honor to our apostles at Great Millstone who taught us the truth through the Holy Spirit and who rule well. A peace, love, salutation, and mercy be unto the elect, you Akim that are hesitant in your lives to uplift this truth, the true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right, to uplift the true names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. All the way up into the end, enduring into the end. And to the rest of the 1/3, you men, women, and children that are fervent believers that believe with your whole heart, mind, body, and soul. Hey, peace be unto you as well. All right, the title of this video is Alone. All right, and the reason that this video is entitled Alone is because this walk is yours to go through, alone. You have to go through this as a soldier. All right, nobody can save you. Like the scriptures say, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And then also in that day, there's scriptures that say you shall desire to see a brother, but you shall not see him. So you have to, make sure that you're doing what you have to do so that you can be saved. Because no man can save you. No man can save you. No other man. I can't save you. This brother can't save you. You have to do what's necessary to save yourself. By way of what? By giving diligence to make your calling and election sure. So the beginning of the desire to do this lesson, it started one day, walking out. If you ever been to my house, one of you, for the Akim that have been here, when you walk out of the side door, there's a gate, and you have to walk through the gate to get to the street. And one day I was walking out, and I seen one single individual bird, which happens to be a cardinal, and it was sitting on the gate, right in front of the door, staring directly at the door. And the scripture that it reminded me of was Psalms 102:7. Can you grab that real fast, Baba Kashai?
You said Psalms 102:7.
Mm-hmm. Which roughly paraphrasing, it says watch. Matter of fact, I'll let the scripture talk.
This is Psalms 107 verse 7.
102:7.
Yeah, Psalms 102 verse 7. I watch and am as a sparrow alone upon the housetop.
It says, I watch and am alone as a sparrow upon the housetop. So that's what that scripture reminded me of. So you're going to have different times, when you're in this faith and you're going through certain things and you want brothers to be there and go through it with you. But is not their situation to go through, roughly paraphrasing. It's yours to go through alone, because the Lord is breaking you down, and the Lord is building you up, increasing your faith, increasing your trust in him. Oh, you got something? Okay. Grab this one as well. 2 Timothy 2:3, because we have to endure hardness as a good soldier. And when you go into the word soldier means solitary, solitary, which means alone. If you're out on the battlefield, and something happens to where, you're separated from your company, does that mean that you desert? Does that mean that you what do they call that word?
You're not talking about deserting.
Yeah.
Or, going AWOL.
Yeah, going AWOL. Does that mean that you don't finish the mission? What you do is you finish the mission. And if so happens to be that everyone else deserted, because they were afraid, and you will get the reward. So we have to endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai, fulfilling and accomplishing the mission that he set us up to do. Start at
the top.
You can start at the top.
Yeah. This is 2 Timothy 2. Actually, I ain't grab it because I figured you would have it. 2 Timothy 2:1. I was like, thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Mashiach Yahushai, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also.
Khan, and that's what our holy apostles have done, with the word of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. The things that they have heard, those things that are the good words of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, they have committed unto faithful men, and faithful, that means that you truly believe. That means that you're sincere. It means that you're serious. And that means that you're going to continue the legacy. You're going to continue on, pushing that word to continue that cycle, so until all of the elect has woken up. Go ahead.
Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach.
And the hardness will come in different forms and fashion. It might come as your woman, it might come as your children, it's going to definitely come as scoffers, individuals like Vocab Malone, all right, James White, the Edomite, and et cetera, et cetera. There's a plethora of scoffers that come against this faith. All right, but then we're going to have to go through physical things as well. As it states within the book of Hebrews, you have not resisted unto blood, but the time is going to come when we're going to be on the run, all right, because of all the slander and the wickedness, and the evil speaking, of the Israelites. Eventually they're gonna come after us, man. And brothers are gonna be scattered. They're gonna be dispersed. Just like they were, during the time of Acts and situations like that. And the time is gonna come when you're gonna desire to see a brother, and you may not see that brother. You may not see him. And you'll be left out there on your own. So does that mean that you now conforming to the world? Does that mean that you throw everything that you've learned out the window? All right, in that idiom that they use, throw the baby out the bathwater. Does that mean that you just give up all hope? No, you endure hardness as a good soldier, so that you may please him that chose you to be a soldier, which is Yahweh Shai. So you have to endure to the end. Go ahead.
But that just goes to show who really has faith, because it said that in verse 2, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men. But the point was the things that thou heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit, yes, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. We're supposed to be teaching one another the things of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. For like instance, the brother said that during the times when all hell break loose, we're going to be desiring to see, a man's going to desire to see another.
Let me grab that.
But even if you're on your own, you're going solo dolo through all of this for the time being, you should remember that the account of, what was that, Elijah, when he had opened up, was that Elisha's eyes to see the angels that was around about?
I want to say it was a different servant.
I think it was too.
Okay.
I think it was too. I just remember it was Elijah who prayed for that man to be able to see. And there was angels
really not
all
alone. Yeah. Because that's Psalms 34:7. The angels of the Lord encamp around those that fear them.
So are you alone for real? These things you should that takes an immortal thought. That's a mind of one that knows you how about Shemiah Shai. But go ahead, bro.
God, and you know what? Just to grab this in the book of Wisdom of Solomon real fast, and you should know where I'm going. I want to say this: Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter, verse 12. Haven't brought this out in a while. It says, "For fear is nothing else but the betraying of the succors which reason offereth, and the expectation from within being less counteth the ignorance more than the causes which bringeth forth the torment." So if you're afraid, that means that you don't have understanding. So what you have to do is you have to study, to show thyself approved. A workman needing not to be ashamed, rightfully dividing the word of truth. If you study, the scripture says wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. So if you're afraid, which and we get afraid from time to time, but then we're comforted in these words of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, knowing that those that put their faith in Yahweh Shemiah Shai were delivered. But when you get into these words, you understand how the angels are always present, how the Most Heavenly Fathers eyes are upon the righteous. So really, you're not alone. You're just hoping from heaven. So you got to trust that the Lord will deliver you. But keep staying at Timothy's, bro.
You want me to finish reading?
Yeah, finish reading it. Yep.
Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. I actually want to grab the word for hardness. Verse 4, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier.
And that's the other point, that I wanted to abstract from that, so that was it. No man that warreth entangling himself with this life. So you don't hear soldiers going out to the battlefield and worrying about, what's going on at home. I wonder if my woman is keeping the house in order. I wonder if my woman is staying in order. All right, you're focused on the mission. You're focused on the objective, and that's what we have to do. We have to focus on this objective, man. Rather you have someone to do it with, or rather you have someone not to do it with. For an example, you may have a brother that's out there and he's alone. His desire is to have someone to help him. But as of right now, what does he have to do? He has to continue the mission. You have to continue going out there and teaching the word, man.
Constantly on the battlefield.
But then you have to have that Uriah the Hittite mind state, which he wasn't a Hittite. He was actually Israelite. But, we understand, what happened, with David, and David was chastised from the Most High Heavenly Father because of that. But David, called Uriah the Hittite, to go down, to his own house and to deal with his woman. But Uriah the Hittite was in the mind state of, man, look, hey, the Ark of the Covenant and my Lord's servants are out there fighting. I have to, I can't go down and have, enjoy the pleasures of this life. I have to continue my work as a soldier. So he slept outside David's house with the servants to guard King David, which was all through the spirit of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai. But that's the mindset that we have to have. All right, we're soldiers in this thing, and rather you're gonna have times where you actually want brothers to be there and to endure and to go through certain things that you're going through, man. But it's not for them to go through, it's for you to go through. The Lord is strengthening you and building you up, and then when all hell breaks loose, you may be separated from brethren, but you have to continue. You have to endure that hardness. You have to keep going. You can't faint. As the scripture says, if you faint in the day of adversity, it's because your strength is small. But what makes us strong, man? All right, what makes us strong is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we have in the scriptures. Matter of fact, to quote that scripture again, Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. And when you go in the word stability, because when you think about stability, you think about something that's strong. It doesn't shake, it doesn't move, it doesn't rock to and fro. Now, if you're building, yourself up upon that foundation of Yahushai, all right, like Yahushai said, within the book of Luke, he that heareth his words and keepeth his commandments is like one that built his house upon the rock. And the waters came and it beat up against the house, but the house did not fall. Why? Because he built up himself upon that foundation, which was Yahushai. So you got to build yourself upon that foundation of Yahushai. If Yahushai said he got us, man. All right. If the scriptures say that the Lord got us, the Most High Heavenly Father got us. You can't be one of those that becomes, weak to the point where you become frantic. All right. Your decisions aren't based upon the scriptures. It's not based upon the wisdom of the scriptures. But then you become spontaneous. All right, you become, what do they call that? Impulsive. You're making frantic decisions. Your decision making isn't based upon wisdom, man. All right. And when you get into a soldier knows the objective, man. A soldier knows the mission. He knows what he's going to go through. He's prepared for it. All right. So a lot of times,
a soldier knows the different, knows that he's facing life and death.
He knows that he's facing life and death, and that's the reason why he's not worried about the things of this world, man. You know, a soldier is focused. He wants to do the work. He wants to complete the mission so that he can go home, and that's our desire. But the thing is, when it comes down to it, you know, even though you may be in the camp with different brothers, neither one of those brothers can save you. You know, you have to do what's necessary to save yourself, man. You know, you have to trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You have to give diligence to make your call in the election sure. You have to do videos. All right. You have to show up to camp. You have to remain brotherly. You have to show charity. You have to show the works of the fruits of the spirit, man. All right. You have to, you know, see Yahweh Shai and brothers. You know, you have to fight those demons that are plaguing your mind. You know,
you have to maintain your relationship with the Lord. You have to keep showing forth your faith towards the Lord. You have to keep showing that no matter what you're going through, you're still going to maintain your integrity and your trust and faith in Yahweh Shai.
Because you can't ride the coattail of any other brother. You know, the apostles, you know, aren't going to look at another brother's channel and say, okay, well, you know, because that brother's been doing the work, I'm going to spare you. You know, you haven't did a video in 2, 3, and 4 weeks, man. You know, and the Lord is going to do the same thing because they're in the same mind of the Lord, man. So you have to do what's necessary for yourself to get you saved, man.
God, I got that in 2 Kings. This is 2 Kings 6. I'm going to start at verse 12. And one of his servants said, "None, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. And he said, Go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, Behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of Yahweh was risen early and gone forth, behold, and host compasseth the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? Okay, so it was the servant of Elisha who asked that because I forgot who was that king? It was the king of Syria. He had sent for Elisha, so he sent a great army to him to fetch him. Verse 16, and he answered, Fear not. So Elisha answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord Yahweh and said, Smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. And Elisha said unto them, This is not the way, neither is this the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man who you seek. But he led them to Samaria.
Kind. And Shalom to, you know, the Akim on the comment board. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
You know, Karatazah. Hey, the brother posted Acts 14-22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of heaven. You know, that's true. You know, hey, we're gonna catch hell, man. We're gonna catch hell. And sometimes when you catching hell, you're gonna want brothers to be able to, you know, go through it with you or for you, but you won't, it's not gonna happen because it's for you to go through. Yeah, brothers is gonna give you words of comfort, you know, but you're the one that have to endure. You know, you're the one that have to be diligent, you know, just to just to play on that brother's name. You know, you have to be diligent, you know, and apply the scriptures to yourself, you know, so that you can get through whatever situation you're going through, you know. You know, but as of this, the scripture that the Ak brought out, you know, we're really not alone. You know, when you think about it, you know, because if you're a faithful man and you're trusting in the scriptures, you trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and the angels of the Lord encamp around you. You know, so you're really not alone. You know, even with Tobias, you know, when you read the book of Tobit, you know, when he was walking and going through his different adversities, who was there with him? It was Raphael. You know,
Raphael also said that I was with y'all before.
He was listening to him. You know, he was listening to their prayers. You know, bringing them to the Most High Heavenly Father. You know, so when you're going through it, you know, the angels are there. But for the most part, you know, when you're walking in this faith, all right, it's your walk. It's yours to go through. You know, another brother can't go through it for you. No other person could have went through what Yahushua went through, you know, for himself and for our whole nation, man. You know, he had to go through it. That was his walk. And guess what? We each and every one of us have to pick up our cross. We have to bear our cross and follow him. No other man can bear that cross for you. You know, you have to pick it up for yourself, man.
I can put it to you. I can put it like this. Every man has his story of faith that he has to continue in, you know. So if you really calling yourself a man of the Lord, you have to go through all of this. That's why scriptures say count the cost. That's why scriptures say, my son, when thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. If you're not ready for none of this, then you're not a real soldier. You don't have that warrior mentality. You don't have that one-mindedness in Yahushua. Because having the spirit of prophecy, which is the spirit of Yahushua, when you will have the determination to endure. That's another thing a man of that war has in his mind, is the mentality and the willingness to endure.
Okay. Let me grab this one. Can you grab Philippians 2:12? And we're going to end off on that Philippians 2:12. But I want to grab this one right here in the book of Galatians 6:4. It says, but let every man prove his own work. Every man prove, Salakia, but let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another, you know? So if you're doing the work, you know, if you're making your videos, all right, if you're suffering, catching hell, you know, because you can catch hell, man, for doing this work. Somebody get a hold of your channel. All right, and they're angry at you, so they do personal attacks on you, because every Jake doesn't have the mind of wisdom. All right, they don't have understanding. All right, they can't, you know, go back and forth with you, you know, in these scriptures, you know, and keep it scriptural, keep it spiritual, you know. But they get carnal to the point where they want to attack you, they want to attack your livelihood, you know, they want you fired from your job. They want you murdered, you know. So you know, brothers is gonna go through different things. So if that happens to you, then you have to continue in this faith. You have to trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And then at the end of that, guess what? You shall have rejoicing in yourself and not alone. You know, Salak, you shall have rejoicing in yourself alone and not in another. So you got a bunch of brothers that they know the scriptures, but here it is, they don't like going out to do the work. They don't like going out and teaching, but they always kind, you know, like kind, brother, kind. And I understand that everybody isn't teachers, you know. This isn't to offend anybody, you know, but if the spirit is calling you, you know, get out there and do the work, man. You know, get out there so that you can have rejoicing in yourself alone and not in another, you know.
Because what's something that every man's going to be able to do once everything is said and done and the electors chosen and they have received palms in their hands, like
the white garment and palms in their hands, which that palm represent victory. And that's something going all the way back to the ancient times. You know, that's the reason why they grabbed palms during, you know, Yahushua, when Yahushua came in riding on that donkey. All right, because Yahushua, what does Yahushua mean? All right, he is our victory, or he is our salvation. You know, so they knowing that and believing upon Yahushua, they grabbed them palms, you know, and they met him and they laid him down and, you know, before his feet when he was riding in. That represents victory. The same thing happened during the time of Maccabees, you know, when they won a great war, you know, because those palms, you know, represents victory, you know. So when the time comes for you can finish your statement, brother. You know, I'm just a little excited.
Nah, damn, what was
2 more minutes.
What was I saying? Because when
nobody's
when you have that when a man, that's something that a man can have rejoice in. You know, when a man goes out and do his labor and then he gets to reap the reward of his labor, he has a sense of not a sense of pride, but a sense of accomplishment. You know, he has fulfilled his duty,
his obligation, and nobody, you're not going to receive that palm in your hand for somebody else's work. You're not going to receive that crown at the end of this thing for somebody else's work. You know, so you know, get out there and endure hardness as a good soldier, man. All right. Get out there and endure hardness as a good soldier. I was watching Elder Ariala's video, all right, and basically, you know, he was going into how, you know, during the time that Yahushua was about to be crucified, you know, he wanted Peter and you know, the other disciples to stay awake and to go through with him, but they kept going to sleep, man. Which Yahushua didn't take it personal. You know, but what Yahushua was going through, it was his to go through alone. You know, and guess what? We're following his example. We got to pick up our crosses. All right. But you have to remain strong. And you know what? Hey, before we end out the lesson, because I gave the story about the sparrow that was sitting on the gate, you know, right in front of the door, which made me think about that scripture in Psalms 102:7. But when you look up the attributes of a cardinal, like what does it represent? And of course, this is according to you know Esau's philosophy. You know, this isn't scriptural. That's what I mean. You know, it's not scriptural. But being a spiritual man, you can abstract certain things from certain situations. Like for an example, and let me think of a situation in the scriptures where, you know, like an animal represented something, you know. I can't think of one right now.
Where animal?
Oh well, hey, you got Genesis. You know, it's a car as an ass crouching down between two burdens. You know, I just said that to make a joke about this brother right here.
God.
But anyway, it says cardinals. It says withstand all seasonal changes. So that's how you have to be. You have to be one that withstand all seasonal changes. All right. If you're enduring the hardness as a good soldier, you'll be willing to go and stand out in the cold, you know, throughout the different 3 seasons. Because really, there's only 3 seasons, not 4. There's 3. You know, so you'll be able to go out there in the cold, you know, and to present your body as a living sacrifice. All right. It says, meaning they are bold, strong, and persistent. You know, you have to be strong and you have to be persistent, man.
Hey, you know? That's what Esau be saying about us, or at least the persistent part, because to the wicked, we're a nuisance. You know, we're showing ourselves to our enemies that we're bold in the spirit. You know, that we're courageous. But that's why the things that's written in Wisdom of Solomon, I believe it's the 3rd chapter, where it talks about they have called themselves sons of the Most High. So let us go and see if their words be true. This is the reason why you have to have a warrior mentality. This is the reason why you have to you have to endure hardness as a soldier. You know, because when you go back to that word hardness, I forgot how you say it in the Greek. I think it's like shit. I think it's like kakopadios, something like that.
Kakopadios.
Yeah. It's
the word pateo or patho. It goes back to pathos, which means to suffer.
And then what it says, if I can get this in, fuck up.
To endure sufferings.
Evils.
You know, to endure evils. Yeah, you're gonna catch hell, you know, in every way, form, or fashion.
It says endure hardness, suffer trouble, endure affliction, be afflicted. It says to undergo hardship, be afflicted, endure afflictions, hardships, suffer trouble. Thought there was something else down there. Nope. Evil, hardships, troubles, but that's the point.
Can you grab that in Philippians? We'll go ahead and close out on that one.
This is Philippians 2, and I believe you said 7 or 12.
2 and 11.
2 and 11.
2 and 12. Yeah, 2 and 12.
Philippians 2 and 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Kind of says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, you know, because no other brother can work out your salvation for you. All right. You have to work it out, you know, for your own, on your own, you know. And the I posted, this is Karatazar, he posted Hebrews 6 and 10. It says, for the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which you have shewed towards his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. You know, so the Lord ain't gonna forget, you know, your labor of love. You know, he's not gonna forget things that you know, are going through, all of the hell that you're catching, you know, the flat tire you caught, you know, going to camp to do the work, but it was Satan trying to hinder you, you know, and even though, you know, you got there an hour and a half late and you still made it, you know, he's not going to forget, you know, all of the hell that you caught from your family because, hey, you wanted to trust in his name,
trusting his laws,
trusting his holy way. You know, so your woman started giving you hell, your mother and your father and mother, you know, started giving you hell, you know, children, which is part of the scriptures. You know, it's all written in there. You know, so when you start to go through certain things and you apply the scriptures, you're not taken by surprise because you understand that it's in there. You know, it's in there. But for the recapitulation, and that's just a joke, you know. But to recap,
you said that you're not surprised, you're not dismayed either. You know, you're not taken off guard by all the things that keep happening.
Kind of. Yeah. So pretty much, you know, sometimes you're gonna have to. Well, you're working out your own salvation. You know, you can't ride the coattails of another brother. You know, and also for the different things that you're gonna go through in this faith. You know, your hell that you're catching, your personal hell, which all brothers that are everywhere are catching hell. We're going through the same thing. You know, brothers just have their different, you know, amounts of hell that they can catch. You know, one brother may be able to go through something that's real hard, and another brother may not be able to. You know, the Lord deals with every man according to his ability. You know, but we're all catching the same hell. You know, another brother can't catch that hell for you. You know, another brother can't go through what you're going through for you. You know, and you have to endure that on your own, man. You have to do it on your own. But really, we're not alone. Like we went into as well, we got the angels that encamp around us. You know, there's going to come a time where things are going to get so bad and you're going to desire to see a brother and you won't be able to see him. All right. But you have to keep enduring. All right. No matter what happens, you know, you have to keep enduring, man. So with that, got to head out for work. You know, the water Yahweh Shai for putting this in our, you know, our minds, you know, to do this lesson. A call hello Yahweh Bashmi Shai. A double honor to our apostles and elders that taught us this truth and who rule well. And peace, love, salutations be unto the elect. A shalom and a Baba Ball.
Shalom, a Baba Ball.